Hello, everyone. Good evening. I hope you're well today. So, welcome to the stream, and I hope you're enjoying this peaceful Sunday. So, today I'm going to stitch this piece, really has a special place in my heart, and this piece is called the Wedding Dress Store. The name is kind of unassuming, kind of generic, but I'll tell you the story behind this piece. So let me just bring up this beautiful markup for you. So this is the entirety of the piece. And so this is, I think, a French town somewhere. Fictional or factual, I have no idea. But if you look at the roadside on top of the wedding shop there, it's in French. And there's also the style of the street vendor, the flower vendor there. It looks very French to me. So I'm thinking this is a French town somewhere. And also in the background, in the horizon, maybe that's Eiffel Tower. I don't know. But this is such a beautiful, whimsical piece that has really a soft spot in my heart. So this is the piece, in fact, the first ever full coverage I bought without knowing the term of full coverage cross-stitching. And I actually had to look up on Amazon. So I bought this kit. It's actually a stitching kit from Amazon. And I looked at the purchase history. It was bought in 2018. That's way before I fell into this rabbit hole. And I bought it, and then I did nothing to it for at least a year, if I remember correctly. When I started even opening the package of this kit was just before COVID. Maybe just a few months before, 6 months before, something like that. And then, oh my God, it was a disaster. So I'll give you a little bit more detail of my disastrous attempt of this piece a little bit. And let me come back to this piece, this view here. So this is a partial area of the pages I've completed. I'll show you the full view of the areas I've done. There you go. So this is from the same design company that I bought the Granny's Craft Room. Maybe you have seen the live stream there. It's really, really pretty. So they all have something in common. They are 14 count sort of piece, and also they all have back stitches that are going on top of them. So this is another element of these pieces I'm really looking forward to do. So what you're looking at, it's about 2 pages and a little bit from the center. And I'll show you the entirety of the piece. Let me switch back to this view a little bit and show you my app. So I'm going to be tracking it with Markup RXP because this is a paper pattern that I imported to the app. So if I zoom out, so you can see the kind of full scale of how big this project is. So maybe not heaven and earth regular size kind of scale, but not small by any means. And you can see that I actually started from the center. So this is a center line somewhere there. And I started with this page on the left, where you can see the mannequin there. And then this is one page, and I'm finished the second page. And now I'm on the third page here. So if you ask what would be the reason to go in this order, there's no particular game plan. So I started from the center because that's what I knew back then. It was the best way to start from with any piece. And then I moved toward the right because I'm simply interested that part of the design within this piece. And also same thing, I'm moving on to the right. I'm really interested in stitching where the flower vendor is, which will be somewhere around here. That looks so beautiful. So this is where I am right now. In terms of completion, just under 10%. So a little bit to go, just like with all my pieces. And I'm starting from 0 stitches. So I'm going to switch back here. And method of choice today, I'm going to go for an easy cross country with no parking. So no parking, this is a no parking day here. And I just want to flow through these lovely colors and then see how far I can go with, I can get to complete with this page. And let me just turn to the chat. Hello, Gayla. Gayla says it's going to be so pretty. I know. This is such a beautiful piece and so romantic as well. Adventures of Stitching. Hello, I'm excited to catch this live today. Welcome to the live stream. And I hope you're stitching with me. If not, let me know where you're getting on and hope you're enjoying whatever you're doing. So let me just highlight, because I haven't worked on this piece for a little while. What I'll need to do is just to kind of redraw these lines a little bit. Just make sure that I can see them clearly. So this is a fabric pen I'm using. They're water solutable, so they would disappear after a while. So this piece, what you're looking at is actually the second attempt. So what happened when I first sort of started stitching this page? So obviously all the material came with the kit, with the floss, with the fabric. And what I did was, the first attempt, I also started from the center. But if you look at the piece itself, let me just quickly bring up the markup here. It's landscape, right? So the width is slightly longer than the height. So what happened with the first attempt was, I was stitching way into it with my own method. I didn't know any sort of particular way of doing it more efficiently. I actually managed to stitch about a page and a half. But then that was when I realized I was stitching in a wrong orientation, meaning that I was stitching sort of vertically with the fabric instead of a landscape. I turned it the wrong way. So the page is actually sitting the wrong orientation. So when I discovered that, what happened was, if I kept going, eventually I'm gonna run out of the width. And I have no idea why it took me so long to realize that I was stitching in the wrong orientation of the fabric. So it was a little bit disastrous. I was thinking, should I buy another kit, because I really want to work on it. And I decided to actually grab another spare Ada I have. I can't remember where I got it, from another kit, 14 counts, and I reworked it from the start. So that's the story of it. It probably just shows how unexperienced I was dealing with, the full coverage piece. Because prior to this piece, before I bought this piece, let me just pick the first color and start working on it. So the floss is the floss that came with the kit, and these are DMC compatible pieces, colors, so all compatible, but the floss feels slightly differently with the texture. It's slightly more matte, and they're quite robust to stitch. I like them, and I use them. This is all consolidated from 4 different kits I've got from the same company, so they're all together in this organizer. And so you probably just show how unexperienced I was with this kind of full coverage pieces, because prior to this I was stitching primarily kind of dimension kits, if you know what they are. Some of them very small, and some of them close to full coverage, but quite small, probably about 4 to 5 pages. And the way they were charted were quite a lot less confetti. So I was used to stitching like that. So this was a shock to the system. And that kind of, this was the beginning of my full coverage journey. So I'm going to go for 945. It will be the first color of my choice. Let me know what you're working on. And 945 was this page here. So prior to that, I was doing smaller pieces and quite happy with them. And I stumbled across this piece without knowing this is full coverage or anything like that. I just knew that it's a bit more intricate and more stitches involved. And probably that was why I didn't touch it for about a year, sitting in my drawer in my spare room. And it wasn't until about a few months before the lockdown, for whatever reason, I took it out. And so, well, maybe I'm ready to, do something with it. And I'm so glad I did, because it opened up a new path for me. So let me quickly come to the chat. Cherries, hello. Cherry says, I'm preparing floss for a new project. Oh, nice. It's called La Citron by Veronique Anjinga. I probably butchered that for sure. That's what I normally do with names. And Adventure of Stitching says, I'm stitching Thomas, King Cat, Mickey, and Minnie Mouse chart from Etsy called Sweetheart Club. I'm going to have to Google that. That sounds very interesting. Sounds very interesting. I'll come back and do a spot of Googling. Adri, hello. Yes, hello. Oh, hello indeed. This is French Sunday night. It's a French theme all over. Adri said, I'm super tired. Summer holiday are all here. And airport, oh yes, an airport is really full. I know Adri works at the airport. So first-hand information of the airport there in Germany, if I remember correctly. Rivers, hello. And yes, a beautiful pink color. And Nikki Stitchy, hello Nikki. Hi Yogi and everyone in the chat from Nikki. And River is working on last day of rustic Farmers Day today, and 3 days of the other ones. Yes, you've got a very disciplined rota cycling through different projects. Let me just start from here and start to warm up. The first few stitches is always slightly, it's just a warm up process here. So let me just zoom in here for you. And maybe pull them slightly over here. The first color today, just making sure that I'm on the right spot. If I'm going to make mistakes in a session, it's normally within the first 15 minutes. So let me just tune that in here. And today, London actually rained a little bit, not that much, but it's a little bit cloudier than the previous days. It's still warm though, still very warm. Nice and solid, like I never left this piece. It's been a little while, I'm trying to think, maybe a few months since I stitched it. There's just too many pieces going on. But I want to give it more love from this point on, because this piece really means a lot to me. And particularly this is the second attempt. And, you know, being such a beautiful piece, I really wanted to materialize in front of me. And the only way to do that is to stitch it, so I can have this beautiful picture right before my eyes. And the tension is very nice with the fabric today. And I'm going to be ordering more frames, or hoops rather, because some of them, I managed to break 2 recently. Just pulling, just screwing the screw too tight, and they start to break. So maybe I need to do something about that. So these are done here. And I'm cross country, so I'm allowed to move it over here. AJ says I'm currently stitching a lolly, and Grace pattern called, oh, so it's a vendor's or designer's name, called Lady Sun. There's so many interesting pieces. I'm so curious to find out. Whoops, see that one down in the wrong corner there. And this piece has got back stitching as well. So it motivates me to work on it, so I can start to apply back stitching to add in more details. And Nikki is working on drinks on the beach, which is Seoul, if I remember correctly. It's a stitch along piece from Heaven and Earth, which I'm not brave enough to join, because there's no way I'm able to stitch even close to be fast enough. So instead of Jelly World, I probably end up with a jelly leg. You know, when everybody's finished, I'm still stitching the leg. Just one leg. And I'm being optimistic. And a couple more over here. It's quite freeing doing cross country, and I might even venture a little bit further than I used to. Let's see how it goes. What? Jerry says just had an earthquake here in Costa Rica, like now. Goodness, I hope you're okay. Please be careful. Goodness, that's a bit scary. Because the other day, maybe last week, I think people in the chat mentioning flooding in some places, or was it some sort of storm, tornado, all the natural disasters. happening live during the live stream. So please be safe, look after yourself, and grab your stitching kit with you if you have to shelter. Something to do, right? So have your emergency stitching kit with you ready. If you need to run for shelter, take the kit with you, along with other life-saving, equipment, obviously. I gotta get your priorities right. Oh, so nice to stitch this. And Adrian says, what is cross country? Good question. I think a lot of people on the chat can probably give you a version of it. So it's basically you are allowed to take your thread any way you want, within reason, right? So there are different ways of doing it. You could have a defined version. So I'm working page by page with this design. So two ways. One, I can just color complete almost. I can take it anywhere within this page with that thread, with that color. And most people probably do it till the thread runs out. That's one way of doing it. Or if the next stitch is just too far away and you don't want to take your thread too far to the next location, because if you do that a lot, first of all, you waste a lot of thread, a lot of material, and also you probably build up a lot of bulk as well. So imagine if you have all the threads moving everywhere, all directions. I mean, even from top to bottom, left to right. If your threads have to travel really far, gradually you're going to build up a lot of bulk. I mean, some people might not mind that. They like the speed, which is the great thing about cross country. And also with cross country, you can park as well. So there's kind of a hybrid method there. You can park the thread to the next location waiting for you. So, and there are people who do extreme cross country, meaning that they go really, really far. Sometimes the entire piece, depends on how big the piece is. So the basic idea is just freedom. You can move, take the thread everywhere, and you make judgment call in terms of what rules you want to apply for you to switch to the next color. So like now, I finished that thread and I'm going to move on to the next color, even though there are more stitches of this color within this area. So that's cross country to you. So if you think about an analogy, you're just moving around freely within reason. And the next color would be 3858. 3858. Over here. I think I've got one threaded already. So I'm going to take that one first. And I was running low on the 26 size needle, and they arrived. I ordered some more and they arrived today, so I'm really happy. So this 26 needle is the needle of choice when it comes to 14 counts. Oh, 4.9, which is not small in terms of earthquake. I know when it goes over 6, you're really in trouble. But also, I think earthquakes, they're vertical and horizontal shakes, aren't they? So I think the vertical one, as far as I can remember, is probably more dangerous because you're shaking up and down. Whereas if you're shaking sideways, there's a little bit of, flexibility there with most buildings and objects. Vertical is a little bit unforgiving in comparison. I hope you're okay. Earthquake is no fun. Because at least storms, you can find shelter, you can run away from flooding. But earthquake, where do you go? And it happens so fast. I think in UK, there's no earthquake as such, but there are tremors, apparently. I never felt it. I don't think you feel it on the surface. It's something that's underneath somewhere. It does happen. Yeah, Sherry. Yes, definitely add cross-stitching kit. Emergency project. In your along with your first aid, water, survival kit, and maybe a smaller piece so you don't have to carry too much. It's a it's a must. It's a must because hiding, trying to be safe can be very boring. And also distract you from, whatever's happening. Not too much, I hope. And bring your torch as well because you will need lighting. It's all about survival. Oh, this is so nice to stitch. And these pieces, I know we all love Heaven and Earth and, Gecko Rouge, whatever. And they're kind of, how I look at them, they're the athletic part of the full cross genre, They're large, they're beautiful, and they're popular. But I really enjoy these hidden pieces that I find along the way in my journey. And, not many people know about these pieces. And I'm just so happy stitching this little hidden gem that no one knows about. And this kit, along with, Granny's craft room that I stitch a lot on the stream, for some reason, they're not available anymore as a kit. But I think some pattern, the stationery shop, for instance, I think you can probably find it on Etsy under a different name. I believe that piece is called Romantic City. So sometimes when a pattern is discontinued for whatever reason, you can probably find it somewhere on Etsy. So the tricky thing is they might have a different name, but it's probably worth Googling, do a kind of image matching with Google Lens and see, you might be able to find it somewhere. Or maybe some lost, kit that being sold on eBay or something. It's like treasure hunt. See if you can still find it. Yes, finished. 2 over here. And 1. The chat is so funny. Oh, is earthquake seasonal? I didn't know that. I thought it was just random, different time. It's earthquake season. And slide it over here. And when you go cross country, obviously, well, I say the fun and also the challenge is making sure that you're stitching at the right spot. So there's a lot of pattern spotting there. And perhaps that's why I don't wander too far, because the further I go, the more likely I might get lost and stitch in a completely different location. That happened a lot. So I learned my lesson. Right over here, got to be careful. It's down here. The next stitch. It's really freeing when you do this. It's a nice reset from a lot of parking, which I enjoy a lot as well. Over here. And let me see what's happening here. That one's done. And that one's done as well. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. There. Adrian, thank you for reading my TED Talk. Oh, there are more earthquakes during or around Easter. That's April time, isn't it? Oh, it might be due to the heat. But April is not the hottest season, hottest month, is it? Interesting. Where am I? Here. And down here. Two, 1, 2. This is so much fun to stitch. A lot of memory as well, because up to this point with this work, I think I picked it up, maybe worked on it a little bit after the whole lockdown situation, but a lot of work was done during the lockdown period. And I find the pieces or the areas of the pieces I stitched during that period kind of have a lot of memories and life experience kind of embedded within the stitches. So when I look at those, the stitches I made during that period, there's certain things come back. It's very interesting. To here. So with cross country, it's always a decision on where you want to take your stitches next. So a lot of colors, they may be flowing all directions. So it's about not taking them too far, but also making kind of make good use of the thread efficiently without wasting too much. That's always part of my consideration, and it's always satisfying when you're able to do that. So you're not taking your thread everywhere, but rather sort of following a certain pattern or direction. So apps like, any digital markup apps really help. You can't really do that with paper pattern because you just can't really see very well in terms of how that symbol is flowing. So this is maybe something we can only do because of that. Imagine trying to do full coverage, large pieces with paper pattern. I'm sure there are people who can do it. It would be quite difficult. Maybe I can manage 2 more over here. Hello, Steve. Welcome. And I see the name of let me have a look. This over here on top. 1, 2, 3. Just making sure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more over here. And then I'm going to end my thread. So using my favorite method, just tuck in the thread under a stitch of choice. So the rainy season is May till the end of July. And maybe something to do with the rain as well. With the earthquake. I don't know. It sounds a little bit scary. Probably just because of the speed of it. And it's really hard to predict, meaningfully before it happens. 902, 902. Nine oh two is this little guy here. So with the 14 counts, I cut the threads a little bit longer, double the length, because I know I'll be folding the threads in half. Oh, Adventure, you missed the last couple of sessions. Everybody's got new charts. It's so wonderful. Even I got one. Not that I need any more, but why not? Whoops. That stitch is not pretty. Or Adventure, go for it. You know, it's always good to get them half, 50% off. Can't beat that. And then you know you have them safely stored in your folder. You're not going to lose them. When I get a new pattern, even if I have no plan to work on them, I always load them, import them to Pattern Keeper, so I can kind of look at them from time to time. And I think you always know when you're ready to work on something. They start talking to you, and you kind of want to look at the markup more frequently. And you start to go contemplate in your mind, am I going to work on it? How am I going to work on it? Do I need more floss? Do I need more fabric? I think when you're kind of ready, things will start to kind of fall into place. Oh my God, yes, Adventure. I don't know about River Walk Charm. I don't know that piece. I might have a Google. But yes, last 2 sessions before I worked on Valentine's Nook. Your fault. Yes. I know. That's what I'm here to do. To get people, to get more whips so I don't feel all alone here with like 20 whips going on there. That's my cunning plan, everyone. You probably spotted that already. I know, such a pretty piece, isn't it? And you can't beat Kim Jacobs. The star is so beautiful. This is definitely the right piece for today. It's just so free-flowing, and each stitch is so Nice and chunky and robust. Just what I need today. You know, some days you want that sort of intricacy of 25 counts. Some days you need something like this. Chunky and wholesome. I think I'm gonna move it down here. To be most efficient. One more down here. Oops. Oh, Aja says, actually, because of Yogi, I started different projects on the side. I used to be monogamous project maker. Oh, monogamous. Monogamy is way too overrated. I'm talking about stitching, obviously. I know, because these pieces are so big. And it's just unthinkable for me to just having to choose one and focus on it and commit to it. It's just not really, it doesn't work with my brain. You know, I'm thinking, well, why not have 10 of them when you enjoy them all? You know, you have 10 times more fun. That's how my brain works. Two over here. I think I'm warmed up. I can feel it. But as soon as I say that, I know I'm going to make a mistake. This is how it works. Maybe one more stitch here. Going to end the thread. Well, cherries, I know, because Kim Jacobs, I think, you know, there are artists on Heaven and Earth that everybody knows about, you know. Jamie, you know, Amy Stewart, for to name one. But yes, I totally think Kim Jacobs is underrated. There's so many beautiful pieces and such a unique style as well. If you like that kind of style, you probably want every piece, every single piece it's got. And for me, it's all about pieces that kind of able to take me into a world that I want to be in. You know, the coziness, the warmth, the intimacy. So I'm less drawn to sort of fantasy type of thing. I like spaces, you probably noticed. It's all about locations, rooms, and what's happening in a room. And I want a lot happening in my room. Not a spare room, not empty room. 961. Because these are the spaces I want to be in. So when I'm stitching it, I'm creating that space in my world. Hey Frankie, welcome. I hope you're well today. Welcome back. Oh, so Cherry's got garden chair, and see gazebo. I don't know that piece. I probably have seen it. I just don't remember the titles of each one. But I browsed through Kim Jacobs' catalog thoroughly and entertained every time. Do I want another piece? And the answer is almost always yes. I know. So whimsical and beautiful and peaceful as well. So peaceful. Let me move the canvas down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing here. And one more down here. Oops. I think, yes, I'm okay. So I made a mistake. It's all good, all good. And I might take it down a little bit lower to this location here. Maybe over here without crossing over stitch area too much. So just one single stitch here. And down this way. Ooh, it's a little bit risque. A little bit further than I normally travel. And I'm going to bring it up here. One more stitch. And then down here. The sunroom, I think I probably have seen it. Oh, it's always nice to have a cat in the pattern. It's always a bonus. I can't tell you how many cats I have on the pattern overall. A small herd of them in total. And over here. So I kind of don't mind taking this thread a little bit further because this is relatively unstitched area. So I'm not going to have that many floating thread. It's okay. It's okay. And I'm going to end the thread here. Well, adventure. This is so great about this chat is the fact that people make different choices. You just get to discover so many patterns and artists you're not aware of. And I've learned so many as well. That's why I always Google them, because I want to see them. And maybe I want them too, you know. And sometimes you just look at mock-ups, you don't really know. But if you listen to someone else or watching someone else stitching it, you get a much better idea. The next color is 3863. 3863. I've got one threaded. Hooray. So it's quite short, but workable. I've learned so much, you know, each session, just talking, looking at the chat. One here, one below. This is so freeing. It's just amazing that when your stitchings of, you know, the stitches are flowing, you just feel like you pick the piece that you really, really love of that moment in time as well, and you feel so much joy. You're just so happy. And that's kind of where I am. I'm just feeling so happy. Let's see if I can manage another stitch here before I need to end it. Thread chicken is coming. Ooh. Tiny bit left. Here we go. Made it. Not bad, huh? Yes, adventure. Sometimes you can see it through another person's perspective, and it changes how you see it too. Absolutely, absolutely. Because everybody's choosing the design that kind of resonate with them in some way. And sometimes just looking at the pattern, there's certain things you might go, well, that's not for me. And then you listen to the other person's reasoning of why, you know, it works for them and how they kind of approach the project. You gain new perspective and new appreciation. And particularly if you watch someone stitching, that's why floss tubing is so nice to watch, because you're literally seeing someone working on the project. So, you know, it gives you a lot more sort of information. Apologies. I had to mute for for 10 seconds because I was coughing, a little ticklishness on my throat. I hope you didn't hear it. It's nice to have a mute button. Right, so next one. For about like maybe 3 or 4 streams ago, I was actually feeling a little bit run down. Not physically, but I was having this kind of almost runny nose as I was streaming, and I got a little bit nervous. I go, well, I really do not need a cold. You know, when do you ever need a cold? Ever. But and normally I don't really catch cold that easily, but when I do, normally takes a little while to recover. But luckily, it kind of went away, so I'm really happy. Ooh, hello. Hello, camera. And so, because if my voice is gone, I can't teach. You know, with the streaming, I can probably manage. I just stitch, but I just you know, shut my mouth and just stitch. But I can't teach, so it's a problem. I've seen yoga teachers teaching with, you know, physical injuries, like a broken leg and stuff. You can still teach, even physically you cannot demonstrate, because if you get effective cues, people know what to do. But if you don't have a voice, it's over. You're staying home, not doing anything, not going anywhere. Nikki, which one is this one? Yes. I think if you have a chart that you love and you know you love a chart when you see it, I say go for it. Go for it. You know, when you get a new chart, even if you haven't worked on it, it becomes part of your world. You know, it's there waiting for you. At some point, you will go, it's you next. And then you're ready to open that door to enter that world. Oh, Nikki got another one from Kim Jacobs. Great choice. I think this is one of the artists who's so underrated. You know, she really needs to be celebrated more. And I'm more than happy to do that. Maybe we can do a spot of Googling of Kim's work. Have a moment of kind of a little Kim Jacobs appreciation party. So capturing memories. Yes, I bet I recognize the pattern. It's just I don't always remember the names of them. Because I browsed through pretty much everything she's got. Let me end this right here. I don't want to wander too far with this one. So A19. Gonna pop it back. Hey Joyce, Stitchy Dutchies is in the chat. Say hello to Joyce. Good evening, Joyce. Which soul? Oh, do we need a Kim soul? Yeah, such a great idea, isn't it? Which piece do you think that should be? Why don't we have a little browse? Let's do a little Kim Jacobs appreciation Googling. Why not? Let's have a little look here. Right, let me go to Heaven and Earth design here. Let me find the site. Let's go, Kim Jacobs. Let's have a look. Oh, hello. Why doesn't it load? Oh, okay. I spelled it wrong. That's why. Here we go. So let's have a little looky. These are really whimsical pieces. And this piece I've got as well, Cobblestone Bakery. I've got a mini version. And this piece is beautiful. What's the name of this one? Dry Flowers. There you go. That's the piece I've been working on. And Garden Chair. There you go. You know, I had my eye on this one for a little bit, but I thought, oh, maybe I'll wait. But now it's 9:50. If we're doing a soul, which piece do you think it should be? I've already got the Dry Flower going and the Valentines, so we can do one of those. Oh, they're so whimsical. They're all like dreams. I love the space and everything. In the sunroom, there you go. I've seen this piece, I just didn't know the name. And so this is the larger, oh, this is a mini one I've got. I love the bread and the bakery. I've got witnesses to bakeries. Oh, this is the mini version. There's one I've got. And Laundry Day. Wow, I don't even remember seeing this piece. All of them. Great choice. Yes, that's exactly, that's a great way to approach it. I've got this piece as well. I haven't stitched it on the stream yet. I've got the quilting room, mini quilting room. How can you resist this? There are little cats here as well on the chair. You can't see it, but it's that. Yes, there's a little tuxedo cat. That's Dolly. That's my cat. So I had to get this one. And look at the color scheme. It's just so, oh, I can't. And I love this as well. Oh my God. What are we doing? Get them all. Oh my God. River's needs to take a nap. Go for it. And oh my God, so much. And I love that majority of the pieces you get a cat at least. This one, yes, there's a black and white cat. Maybe she owned a black and white cat. And this is a mini Valentine Nook I've got there. And oh, morning gardening, gatherings. So there you go, have a browse of the work. Oh, this is someone else now. Oh my God, my studio, this is so cute. I know, I know. Wouldn't everyone want a studio like that? And also, here's the tuxedo cat again. I'm convinced this is probably her cat. Orange tree courtyard. You can see where the star is and where the themes are going. It's all about spaces. I've got this one, mine. Go have a browse. Go look them up. If you want to do a soul, I'm all for it. So, with that, it's a lot to digest. Yes, River, enjoy your nap. Naps are for grown-ups. Power nap, you know. I know. The next color. And Lisa as well. Lisa says, hello everyone. Sorry I'm so late to a party. Hope you're well. Never too late for a party. Never too late to a good party. So 3830. Here we go. Hey Rose, welcome. So Joyce is proposing one of the minis. That's a good one for Saul, right? You don't want something too epic. We'll have opportunities for that when Amy Stewart piece comes out. And then, you know what? If we decide a Kim Jacob Saul Day, when Amy Stewart piece come out, we can have a Amy Stewart Saul Day as well. So we have like 1 day a week. We get together and work on that particular piece. How does that sound? I think it sounds good. And then I'll get the Facebook group set up so we can share the progress. I think we'd like to know what, how someone else is doing it. And we may choose different fabric counts, different floors. And they all look different, unique to you. Yes, Joyce, you did say you love the dry flowers. So that's one of the potential ones we could do. And obviously, if we do Sao on that, I'll be way ahead ish. I'm sure you'll probably race past me very soon. This one over here. Maybe I can do a poll if I know how to do it. I don't know how to do it. I'll figure it out. Maybe we do a poll. One, two, three. Yeah, Kim Day and Amy Day. There you go. That'd be so much fun. And now would be a good time to get the patterns because it's still 50%. And I think some of Kim's pieces even it's not even $9, it's about $6. So it's a bargain. A bargain. All very organized adventures. So Adventures says, here's my top picks, and I like the mini idea. I think mini idea is very good. And so we have Cobblestone Bakery, Dried Flowers, Valentine Nooks, a Valentine Nook Sunroom, and Capturing Memories. You know what? What we can do, because there's so many beautiful pieces, we could stick with the theme of Kim, but we don't have to stitch the identical piece. How does that sound? So not, you don't have to be sort of forced into picking one or the other. As long as it's Kim, then, we just stitch together of those pieces of your choice, if that makes sense. I think that will give some flexibility to everyone. Yeah, just to work on the piece of your choice. It doesn't have to be mini, it could be full size. So everybody has that flexibility to choose what they like, as long as it's Kim's piece, right? And then we can share them. Oh, how exciting! I love it. I love my idea. Hands up if you like my idea. Dear, oh dear. Yeah, definitely. Which one did you buy, Nikki? Yeah, just pick a Kim Jacobs piece and we'll just stitch together. And we just need to decide which day is good. Maybe Wednesday, just on top of my head. Every Wednesday we have a Kim day. My studio, that's beautiful. And so intricate as well. There's so much going on there. Oh, I'm very tempted. Very tempted. We have a second look. I might grab it as well. Excellent, Gail. Gail's in is gamed. So you have it till let's make it Wednesday then, the Kim Day. So you have it till Wednesday to decide which piece you want. You can pick either mini, max, whatever of your choice, as long as it's Kim. And then we can compare notes on Wednesday to see which one you pick. And if you have multiple pieces from Kim, you're free to work on any piece at any week, at any Wednesday. I'll see if I can get the Facebook group sorted by then. It's very fiddly, Facebook. That's why I haven't used it for a little while. Two more here. There's one more. And I'm going to end the thread before I get lost. I know it's 50%. So if you want to grab something, I don't know till when they're going to have discounts. I think just this weekend. So if you want to grab Kim's pattern or any pattern, probably now is a good time. Maybe it's by Sunday. I don't know. Frankie has got a mini bakery in my chat. Oh, lovely. So you're already there. Rose got a mini quoting room. I love that piece as well. What I've got is max color. But you know what? With that piece, I've got both mini and max. Because when I got mini and I looked at the pattern, I loved it more and more. And I said, well, I want to do it not max size, not super size, but max colors. So I've got that going as well. Adventures. Oh, so you don't have Facebook? To be honest, I hadn't used Facebook for ages. I do have an account, but I've just recently set up the group. I haven't got the admin sorted. Need to get that sorted so you can join. It's not hard creating an account, so you can always have that option. Because when it comes to sharing, pictures or videos is probably the best forum, at least for now. And I'm going to go for 3858. 3858. Yeah, I think Facebook is probably more accessible to most people because most people probably already have an account lurking somewhere. I'm not that familiar with Discord either. Sounds a little bit scary. People talking over each other. Yeah, I think Facebook is good. We'll see how it goes. That sounds like a plan. I love it. So Wednesday now officially is the Kim Day. Let's go. Oh, Frankie asked the $2 million question. How many full coverage do you have ongoing, Yogi? I don't know, to be honest. I don't know how many, but I know. Wouldn't surprise me if it's double digit somewhere there. I haven't counted everything. Because you probably notice I keep pulling new pieces out. And they're not new because I worked on them. So, but I'm slowly bringing them out one by one. So I get to work with on them, all of them, on different days. But I have a few going on there. The answer to you is a lot. So there you go. That's the answer for you. Yes, Nikki, I need some fabric as well. I need some fabric action going there. I've got floss pretty much ready there. Maybe need to top up a couple colors, but I'm good. But the fabric, I need to get that sorted as well. Yes, Adventure, I'm excited too. And I can't wait to see what you're stitching, which pattern you choose from Kim's collection. Rose says, work on them one stitch at a time. It's all about the fun of stitching for me. Yes, absolutely. Whatever you do, it doesn't matter how big the piece is. It's one stitch at a time. It's just like running. It's one step at a time. There's nothing beyond that, really. So if you enjoy that stitch, that's all it counts. A single stitch. That's all it counts. It doesn't matter, how big the project is. But the goal is to enjoy it. And need to find my stitches here. Now the Nikki's got the studio pattern. I'm very tempted, very tempted. Because I was looking at that piece as well, but I thought, oh, it looks epic. But I love epic. It's part of the attraction. Part of the attraction. Nikki says we're most likely process stitchers. Well, that's a good term. That's a good term. It's not about finishing pieces. I mean, it's there somewhere if you keep working on it. But it's about enjoying the moment. Enjoying the moment. That's all we have. That's all we have. So I'm just not very goal orientated by nature. I just, because there's no point reaching the end goal if you don't enjoy the process. If you feel frustrated, overwhelmed, or thinking, why am I not stitching fast enough? Then what's the point of doing it? It's not a job. We do it because we love it. One, two, three to the left. Hi, Jen. Jen Creation. She says, hello. What other counts is this fabric? I love the coverage. This is 14 count and it's 2/1 4 stitch, as you can see. And the floss is coming from the kit. This is originally a paper-based cross-stitching kit. But the floss is DMC compatible. And you're quite right, it's lovely. And the coverage is pretty good. You know, you can't see through any of the stitches. So I love it. And welcome to the chat. Are you joining us with the Soul Day, with the Kim Soul? I'm trying to corrupt everyone, get everyone on board. And oh, Nikki asks, if you get my studio, what count would you get? I think with a piece like that, I'm feeling maybe 25 or 28. I would really like to have a go at 28. I haven't done 28. And with that piece, if you look at the design itself, it's got so much detail. I think, ooh, I think 28 might be calling me there. Quite possible. I have to think about it because I've got so many pieces of 25 already, so I know what a stitching experience that is. And I'd like to maybe try venture into, you know, maybe 32 is probably too extreme for now. I have no idea whether I'll be able to see the stitches, but 28 I might be able to manage. 3A63, 3A63. And also there's also the choice of doing 2/1 tent as well. I would entertain that idea as well. 3A63. I know you're very done with 10 stitches for now. Yeah, I think 32 is too extreme for me. I think I'll maybe move up to 28, see if I like it. And so it's either 25 or 28 for me, I think. And also I think Kim's style works really well with 10 stitches as well. You know, you can see with dry flower, it just benefits by that slightly sort of looser stitches. Not looser, but the coverage is still full, but it just has that kind of slightly more relaxed style to it. So if you never try 10 stitches, maybe it's something to consider as well with Kim's design. 2 down from here. Hello, Dolly. Hello, babe. How are you, sweetie? Dolly's here to say hello to the chat and everyone. So Dolly is a tuxedo cat. Very independent. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Am I even in the right spot? 1, 2. 2 from the left. Okay, that one. One, 2 here. 3. That one. Adventure goes, go 28 and make it different. Yeah, I might try that. I won't know if I like it until I try it. It's always my motto. Just try it. Just making sure I'm on the right spot. I'm a little bit lost. Here. Okay, here it is. Yeah, the floss choice would be another thing as well. If I were to go for half stitches, 10 stitches, I'll probably stick with CXC because I just love that CXC effect for 10 stitches. But yeah, there's something to consider. Either DMC or other floss. That one. Rose says, I'm stitching I See You in My Dreams. Okay. On 28 count, and I'm finding very enjoyable. Lovely. So are you doing full cross or a 1/1, I presume? Yes. 1/1 using DMC. Okay. Yes. I missed the previous one. Oh, is Jan near where the flooding is happening? Is it Texas? I remember. Oh, is it somewhere else flooding as well? I hear it's it's kind of quite bad. I hope everyone's okay. Right, Jen is okay. I'm moving over here. Frankie says, I just bought 2 Kim Jacobs. Which one did you get? And Nikki says, all right, I've got my fabric for my studio. 25 counts for me. No tent. Lovely. Lovely decision-making power there. Nikki, I haven't made up my mind yet, but I'm definitely getting the studio. That bit I know. I'm getting the studio. So with a Kim Day Wednesday, Kim Wednesday, we need to find a catchy name. Then we're allowed to cycle through Kim's patterns if we have multiple ones. How great is that? So a lot of freedoms there. A lot of freedom, and on different Wednesdays you can stitch on different piece from Kim. Considering I've got so many of Kim's patterns going on there. Rose says, I've tried 10 stitch, but keep doing full cross. You're not alone. You just need to get your head around. Yeah, I do that just automatically. Totally. It can happen. It's real. And also very often, if I switch from 2 strands to 1 or the other way around, I just end up just automatically go 1 strand, even it's supposed to be 2 or the other way around. It just, our body's, it's got that habit going on there. So it's nice to switch around. It makes you more flexible, more adaptable, I think. That's why people doing cross training, you know. You can't just do one thing. You have to do all sorts of different things and you get stronger. That's my thinking. So, oh, Joy says, I bought the Minnie's dry flowers, well done, and Cobblestone Bakery. Isn't that sweet? The bakery. I know. I'm in love with that piece. I haven't started that pattern yet, so maybe the Kim Wednesday would be a good time for me to get them going. All these unstitched projects. It's not that I'm worried about increasing my whips. Not at all, not one bit. Oh, I love that bakery as well. Lisa says, I just bought mini dry flowers. Yes. Fasten your seatbelt. It's going to be awesome. I know. It's such a beautiful piece. I know I sound like a broken record, but yeah, it's such a beautiful piece. Yes. Fasten the seatbelt. I know. Oh, there's a dog in the bakery as well. I know. I bet they're actually her pets because the cat is always a tuxedo cat, or always a black and white cat. So it's not random. I love it. One more stitch here. I'm gonna end the thread. I'm so excited. And Heaven and Earth Design probably go, whoa, Kim's pieces are popular today. Whole bunch of purchases of Kim's pattern. Oh wow. Okay. So Nikki says I only do tent with 32 count now with one CXC thread. So let me know, does it provide like meaningful, like really good coverage with 32? Because I don't even know what 32 count fabric looks like. I haven't owned any. So 1/1 sounds, yes. But I think CXC can probably do the job because it's just so much fuller. And that will be, I'm going to go into maybe 28 first and see how that rolls. Maybe venture into 32. Oh, that sounds very scary but exciting too. Lisa says, I look at the bakery one too, but I can't stare at that yummy food. Well, then you definitely cannot stitch the vintage baker from Amy Stewart. You're gonna be, you're gonna go nuts. You're gonna just rush to the kitchen and start baking. That's what I always want to do when I stitch that piece. And look at that cherry pie. 436, 436. 436. Yeah, but that's the bakery. I want to go and buy my bread. Adventure says, okay, I've narrowed it down to bakery, dry flowers, and Valentine. Look, all of them are great choices. All of them are great choices. Switch needle. So the coverage of CXC on 32 is good. Yes. Crystal, hello. Hi everyone from Aberystwyth. I butchered that. From Canada. Welcome. Welcome to the chat. One, two, three. Three over here. Oh, let me find my spot. There we go. Here. Let me move this one here, maybe to the right. And then I'm going to move it slightly to the left here. Oh, Crystal asks, just out of curiosity, why do you bring up all those needles when you're using one? Oh, I'm not just using one. Okay, so these are my stash of needles. Normally I have two needle miters here. Let me just thread this one through first before I lose my way. And so what's happening here? That's a great question though. So it looks like I'm using one needle. I am actually not. So let me just park it there. So normally I have one needle miter, have a stash of needles here, and another one to park, you know, the one that's active right now. So what happens here is, perhaps by showing you my needle organizers, will probably explain it. So what I normally do is, if I have some leftover thread, I'll park the needle back on my needle, not needle, the thread organizer, my floss organizer. So you can see there are a lot of needles going on there. So, so I kind of cycle through the needles. So let's say if the next color, I look at the organizer and I cannot find one that's being threaded, then I'll bring up a new thread and I'll need a new needle from here, from the stash here. And once I finish with this piece, for instance, if there's leftover, and I'll thread it onto my organizer. So I will, you know, basically replace this needle with a new needle. So that's why I need a whole stash of them, and I run out of them regularly. So there you go. That's the reason for it. That's a great question. I never thought about that. But obviously, you're using one needle at a time. So well, you know, maybe at some point simultaneously sewing with both hands. That'd be spectacular. Live on a live stream. It's like some sort of acrobatic stitching. So there you go. Great question. Hey Rajul, hello, welcome back from Austin, Texas, USA. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. Let me get this one here. Need to remember to mark my stitches, or I get very confused. Right over here. That's done. 3, 2 down. Okay, we're good. We're good. Stitch over there. Cherry says, I love this, by the way. It feels like I'm stitching with friends. I'm usually team, audiobook. That's a nice choice. I do podcasts sometimes, or floss tube. But this beats it. I know, because you get so much information as well. So it's not just feeling sort of audio with something as part of the stitching experience. You're actually kind of getting quite a lot of information from other stitchers as well. And it's real time, so it's not like reading comments, you know, on a forum or Facebook, which is nice as well, but this is real time. You ask questions, get answers, and tons of stitches on here. We can help each other out and get inspirations. And let me mark these ones. Another one down. Rose was wondering about the same thing. Yes, it's not very obvious what I'm doing, so that's a great question. Crystal says, so like gemma stitches. I do gemma's method for a couple pieces as well. So are you referring to the needle switching? I think a lot of people probably do this. They will park the threaded needle somewhere. People have different ways of doing it, but it's not uncommon to have a whole bunch of needles. Technically, you can do it with one. Absolutely, you just release the thread somewhere, and then just use the same needle and keep going. So you can definitely manage with just one single needle. It's a preference. And for me, I like the idea of threaded needles somewhere there waiting for me, even though I don't mind threading that much. Find it therapeutic. Right, let me mark the stitches. Yes, Gemma parked her thread, and that depends on the project. I part my thread as well. Obviously, if you part your thread, you will free up the needle. So the consumption of needles varies. But even with parking, there will still be occasions that it really depends on whether you leave your threaded needles somewhere. If not, then yeah, you don't need multiple needles unless you break them. So yeah, there are a lot of hybrid methods, any combination in between. And I think people kind of customize it to suit their own style. So there isn't one way of doing it. There's no right or wrong way. And it's about finding what works for you. But it's not uncommon to use tons of needles. Two-handed stitching. Are you talking about this? I'll be practicing, Nikki. Yes, simultaneously, can imagine. Or maybe two different projects at the same time. That would be great. One is 14 counts and the other one is 28 at the same time. That would be extreme stitching, yes. Three over here. One more here. This is so enjoyable, this piece. I'm so glad I'm back on it. Crystal says, I've only been stitching for like 2 years and doing my first height. Oh, congratulations. And trying to figure out how to do it with a lot of confetti stitches. Yes, that's every stitcher's the paths they have to walk through in terms of finding their own, favorite methods to deal with, particularly with confetti. So a lot of your method of choice in terms of how you stitch it probably will, the confetti will probably have impact on your choices. So you don't get overwhelmed and, by all the color switches. But yes, I think that's part of the kind of, well, I wouldn't say ultimate, but it's one of the sort of biggest area when it comes to full coverage, because at some point you're going to come across a lot of color switching. So the question would be, how do you, find a way to deal with it? So, but it's going to be ongoing. The first method you choose might not always work. Maybe it works for someone else, but you just need to do a lot of it and just figure it out. No methods kind of works for everybody, even the best ones, that you can think of. So for instance, I love Gemma's method, but some people can't do it or don't like it totally, and there's no right or wrong with that. So this one, I might need to end it because it's very, very short and doesn't like me anymore. I'm gonna just cut it off here. Nikki says, I did see someone using 2 needles at the same time on here. Like here as in the internet? Or certainly not on this channel. That would be me, wouldn't it? Oh my God. I think you have at least 1,000 needles. Yeah, maybe up there. Yeah, I just keep running out because every time I get a stash, I just go, oh, I'm sorted. I've got so many needles, I'll be fine. And lo and behold, I'm like running low. So it's just the way it is. Steve says, I love people who can solve 3 Rubik cubes while juggling them. Okay, that's one video. That's one TikTok video I'll have to see. So I'll believe it. 3 at the same time while juggling. Yeah, some people are made differently. 3721. 3721. Here we go. You know, that guy can probably get on America's Got Talent or something like that. He'll probably win. Would you pay for a ticket to see a show like that? Just a guy juggling, solving Rubik cubes. I don't know. Like for an hour? But you know, those shows, you know, like talent shows and stuff like that, they always pretend that, oh, they would, you know, welcome anyone with different skills. But ultimately, they just want singers because there's only kind of what talent, if you can call it, that will make them money. So, you know, there's no point having, I don't know, maybe magicians will probably be able to sustain some sort of shows. But if you're like a dancer or something, they can't. I don't know how many people is going to go to watch a dance group, you know, like for on a regular basis. So ultimately, what they really want is singers. Oh, these ones I've already done. Forgot to mark them. That's why I'm confused. And that one as well. 3, 8. Where am I? Oh, hang on. 3, 5, 5. 3, 5, 5. Here we go. Janelle, hello. Welcome. Janelle says, hi everyone. I've had that stream on since the start, but I fell back to sleep. Because where Janelle is really early in the morning. Well done, Janelle. You're forgiven for falling back to sleep. That's only normal. But well done. Good morning. You made it. You made it. We're still here. We're still here. Let me move this one over here. And the next one I'm going to tackle is 3A30. 3A30. Adventure. That's very kind of you. Adventure says, Yogi so calming. She soothes us to sleep. I'll take that as a compliment. You know what? I actually get viewers actually commenting that they play these videos while they're sleeping because for some reason it's soothing. I hope so. I try not to scream and shout and, you know, using bad language. It's a family show. Family show. There. Okay. So the next stitch is going to go Steve is like the Wikipedia of Rubik Cube competition or something. Clearly he's looked into this. Well done. Is that real? Someone is juggling Rubik Cubes? And then how do you do that? When you're juggling, you can't really manipulate the cubes. I find them so frustrating though. It's just like endless sort of frustration and confusion. Rubik Cubes. Not for me. Steve's done some research. But I have seen a video on YouTube, I think. A guy trying to solve not a regular Rubik cubes, like really big, and God knows how many, like different size as well. It wasn't a cube shape, and he put a timer on. It literally took him like over 3 days. I mean, obviously he probably had some sleep, had some food, but he would stop the timer, and it took him like 3 days, but he managed. That is just, there must be some sort of formula that you can follow to solve it. I just don't understand it. And why? Why do you want to do it? Tell me. What would be the reason? You want to do this to yourself. One, two. Okay, I'm gonna do that one as well. I think I can do with a piece of chocolate. I can feel the chocolate craving coming up. I think that's what I'm going to do. I might go for the orange geranium. Oops. Sorry about the noise. Cheers, everyone. Very nice. Very nice indeed. And I may take it over here, trying to avoid the stitch area as much as I can. More stitches up here. I'm taking my threads a little bit further than I normally do. Right, that's the last stitch of this color. Within this area, I'm gonna tuck it under here. Steve, I do know you have one piece of full coverage lurking in your cupboard there. You know, you always have the option to bring it out and give it some love. You know, you have that option there. You know that. 3A30. Another piece of chocolate. Oh, so good. Four, 3, 6, 4, 3, 6. This needle doesn't like me. Just pop it over there. And we are over here. Oh, I'm doing really well with the stitches. Amazing. I surprised myself. Two stitches here. Just one more down here. Hmm. Quite a few stitches of this color around this area. Steve saying, I feel so uncool stitching here with a blackbird designs. Sampler going. No, your samplers are beautiful. Your samplers are beautiful. So uncool. Are you going to join us with the Kim Wednesday? Go on. You know you wanna. Maybe you will love it. A few more here. I think if I saw this stream before I actually started stitching full coverage, I probably felt quite shocked as well. I say, well, this, so involved. Why do you want to do it like this? But, we all know. I think everyone here knows why we're here. Because it's so much fun. And I love what Gemma says, I think in one of her videos. It's like a game. Because it doesn't matter which stitching method of your choice. Ultimately you're doing one stitch at a time, but there's also some kind of strategy is involved. But it's not complex strategy, it's just how you want to approach your piece. And it gets you thinking, and it's fun. It's fun to say, trying to solve a puzzle. Maybe a little bit like Rubik's cubes. I don't know. I can't solve that puzzle. Each to their own. Adventure says stitches of superpowers when it comes to patience. And I think it's probably more than patience, because patience somehow imply you need to have the willpower. I have no willpower. The only driving force for me to do anything is that if I enjoy it, if it's fun, right? So I'm over here. Let me just have a quick look. 2 down, 1 here. I get lost very easily if I look away. Let me just get that one down. And the thread. Yeah, Steve, I just pull out that full coverage you've got, dust it off, and give it a go. You might fall in love with it. You might go, well, from now on, full coverage is my path. That's the only thing I'm gonna do. Yeah, but your type of stitching is lovely too. I love it too. It just, I've got so many so many projects going on. But I love samplers. Love samplers as well. Lisa says, come sit at a cool table, Steve, and join the Kim Sa. Exactly. Very good, Lisa. And Joy says, it's more like a jigsaw puzzle, building up the image until the last piece is in place. Yes, yes, hopefully the last piece comes through at some point. For me, it will take a little while, but yes, it's a constant moving forward with that. If you look at these stitches, it's like nothing, but when you zoom out, you see a beautiful picture here. And that's the reward. That's a reward. So, one stitch at a time, one stitch at a time. I know, Lisa. I mean, Steve's work is beautiful. Absolutely. It shouldn't feel uncool. You're cool in your own way, Steve. Three, 8, 5, 8. 3, 8, 5, 8. River's woken up. That's a quick nap. That's like half an hour. That's power nap. Well done. You're still stitching. I don't think you've been away for that long. It must have been a good nap if it feels like a long sleep. It feels like a long nap. It means you're sleeping really well, and that's good. 2 over here, and the next stitch is a little bit further. So what I'm going to do is to end my thread here and then take it to the next location rather than carrying the thread all the way, because it's all stitch area and I'm going there. So and I'm moving over here. And right, I'm going to move down here. Just find a spot. I'm going to end my thread here. Oh, hang on a second. I might take it over to the left here. More, few more stitches. Just have a look. 2. Move it over here a little bit more. It's amazing when you're in the flow. Just feel like you can stitch forever. It's like runner's high. You have when you're in a high, you just there's no pain. Just keep going. Feels a little bit like that. Let me have a look. I am going to take it over here. Do these ones and use up the remaining of the thread. one more here. Another one. Rivers on 75.57. That's amazing. Percentage. Should clarify. So let's have a look. I think I'm gonna work on this area a little bit. There are quite a few stitches around the same color. Might be a good one to work on. Let me 8, 9, 8, 8, 9, 8. So does anyone know if Pattern Keeper can handle back stitches yet? I haven't tested it because all the projects I've got currently has got back stitches. They're printed paper patterns, so I can't use Pattern Keeper for that. Ooh, why did I do a pin? For no reason. Nine 902. Oh, Joyce, you're 79.7. The last time I heard from you about the percentage, it was like just around 70 or something, or slightly above. You made really good progress. No way. How many stitches do you manage every day, daily, roughly? Because you're 79%, well, let's say 80, and you're finishing by August 2nd. That's like a month away, a little bit. That's not a lot of time. That's amazing. That's way before the birth of the grandchild. So you have time to frame it and stuff. Oh, hello, Dolly. Dolly's having a sneezing outfit. Hello, babe. How are you doing? Are you alright? Oh, little sneezy session going on there. Babe, you okay? Sweetie, you alright? Oh, little sneezy attack. Here we go here. You're kidding me? Average 779. It's about 800 per day. Wow. Wow and wow and wow. 800 stitches would take me 4 days. So on average, if if I do 200, that's pretty good. Depends on the method. Whoa. That's a lot of stitches, Joyce. But I haven't done too badly today. I'd like to make 300 today if I can. Oops. And I may be able to make it to meet my daily goal of 300, which I don't hit, which I don't hit most of the days. And I've got about 38 stitches to go. And even if I go all the way cross country, there's just no way I'm going to manage nearly 800 stitches every day. That's pretty crazy. And 3 down here. So everyone on the chat, what is your average, not the most stitches you ever done, but average day? How many stitches do you manage every day? I'll start. For me, maybe just under 200 on a good day. The methods I've used kind of slow me down a little bit more by choice. But on average, for about 200. Cherry says 350 a day. Steve, are you accusing Joyce being an alien or Martian? I mean, yeah, possible. That kind of speed. It's not quite human. Is that what they look like? Is that your true form, Joyce? Like some sort of flaming red squid. That's, yes. Oh dear. But there was another lady, I think her name was Linda. Her average is like over 1,000. So I think she's from a different planet as well. What, Janelle? 1,000? What? Oh dear, I was just talking about Linda. It turned out Janelle is in alien territory as well. We've got a lot of visitors from outer space here in the chat. I'm very happy about that. Hello, hello, all the friends from other planets. Welcome to Earth. I hope you like it here. $758. That's shocking. 758. Here we go. I've got 26 stitches until I reach my goal. Wow. Janelle is kind of saying that as if it's normal. And there's nothing normal about that. Nikki, you're in a 1,000 territory. Okay, 10, but still, that's fast. Nikki says, I get tired around 1,010. And maybe switch to a new piece and get 300 to 500. What? Are you guys just trying to hurt me? My goodness, I thought I'm doing well with 300 today. And you just have to do this to me. Nikki is like, oh, I get tired about 1,000, but you know, I just, you know, switch to a different project and do a few more. Like another 500. Jeez. Oh dear. What? Joyce. You mean 1.6 million ever, like from the beginning of your stitching days, and everything's recorded? That is absolutely shocking. And Steve is about 950. What? I feel so not normal. Can someone please help me? Is anyone stitching below 500? Like, you know, so I feel like I belong to this planet. Maybe I'm the alien. So I'm not kidding when I say I'm a slow stitcher. You know, I'm absolutely not kidding. As it says on the tin, that's that's what I am. 300 on a good day, you know, very good day. And today is one of those days. Yeah, by Stitchy Pal, I don't think Joyce means that there's another person, you know, stitching for her, like a friend, like assistant, stitching assistant. That's why she can manage 750 per day. I think for me, one assistant is probably not enough. I need a team, stitching team for me to get that kind of numbers. One here, let's have a look. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, got 19 to go. Oh, there's an app called Stitch app. A Stitch Pal. I didn't know that. I thought you were just referring to any app. It's a free app. Wow. Is it good, Joyce? I thought you use is markup that you use, or have you got fed up with it? Stitch Pal is a real thing. My God, just full of stitching athletes in the chat there. Where am I? Here. Two more underneath. Oh, it's very kind, everyone. And let me mark these. I've got 14 to go. Yay, so exciting. And I'm looking forward to the confetti. Not the confetti on the fabric, but confetti from my app, congratulating me for my accomplishment today. I don't get it very often. I'm excited. Oh, I see. So Stitch Pal is not a markup app, is more for tracking progress of your projects. But how does it know that you're telling the truth? I can just tell it I've done, 10,000 today, which is, of course, fiction. Ten more, the final 10 stitches. 9. 8. 7. Let's see. Okay, 7 more. Way ahead of myself. Where am I? Here. 7. 6. 5. Okay, 4 more. Woo! 1, 2, 3. 4. 3. 2. Oh God. I think I missed. I'm stitch off 1 stitch here. Never mind. 1. No one can tell. Here we go. The last sprint. Right, ladies and gentlemen, guess what? 300 stitches, and I have the proof. Hang on. Here we go. I've got the final 4 stitches here to mark up these 4 and watch and weep, okay, everyone? Last stitch and watch. Yeah! I could have set my goal to 1 stitch and I still get the confetti, but it's 300. So there you go, 300, target reached. And look at the info here. I've got my little badge here, completion 300 daily, which I don't hit most days. 2 hours and 45 minutes, not too bad, 300. And completion 9.63, so I'm edging toward double digit here. So there you go. That's what I've done today. And have a look at this. So today I worked on this building here on the right here. And let me bring up the full. So in the beginning, before my session, so if you look at the upper right there, that was before today's session. And now filled up a little bit more. And this is the markup. Really, really pretty. So I'm working from the center there. So you can see I'm toward the right side of the markup. That's those brown building with 4 windows. That's where I am right now. And I'm really excited to move toward the right where the lady, you can see the picture on top of the flower vendor there. And I'm really, really happy. It's been a while. Well, yesterday I did well with the half stitches. Before stitches, very occasionally I hit 300. So I'm really, really happy about that. So just allow you to appreciate my work today. Let's quickly have a look at the chat. So a lot of discussion around the apps. And it's a good tip from Joyce about this app called Stitch Pal. You can track your progress. It's a free download, so you can have a look. Yes, and let's have a look. River's talking about her cat. Let's have a look. I had a cat once. She was all black except her face. Okay. A completely straight line from the middle. Oh, it's like a half and half, like what is it called? Two-Face, like in Batman or something. Is it Batman? Was wow. And the very tip of the front paws were calico. Oh my goodness. Have you seen those cats with like a mustache just under the nose like Hitler's? They're quite popular for adoption, clearly. And thank you, Adventure. And oh, Joyce, I've got a trophy from Joyce. Yes, champion stitcher herself, giving me another trophy. Thank you so much. So in this beautiful, peaceful Sunday, still Sunday over here, 6 minutes to midnight in London, Yogi's going to sign out. I had a really good time with you guys. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you. And thank you everyone for being in the chat. And remember our Wednesday Soul. So get your stuff ready and get your patterns and fabric till Wednesday. And we're going to do it together. Okay. Kim, Jacob, piece of your choice. And we're going to start our first soul together. And until then, we got a few more sessions to go. And I'll see you in the next live stream. And enjoy your stitching wherever you are. Enjoy the rest of your day, your Sunday. So from here in London, I'm going to wave you 99.99. And I'll see you next time. Night night, everyone. Good night.